Welcome to episode 261 of the AHRC Marathon Training Vlog. MK here, and it's Thursday, January 18th, and the kids had a 7-mile recovery run this morning with 5 strides. Shout out to Uncle Denny for coming out to run with the kids. Many thanks. And shout out to Evan for sewing napkins for our dinner last night. Wow, it was so much more of a nicer experience, and it even made the food taste yummier. I just dropped off Evan at school, and I'm gonna wait an hour for her choral performance. So today is the winter performance. It's kind of a rehearsal for the spring performance where they will put on a bigger show. I'm still not running. I'm taking it day by day, and it looks like my injury is still a little bit sensitive, and I don't want to take any chances. I want to be fully recovered before I even start jogging again, because in the past jogging aggravated it a ton. So I think I'm going to have to push everything back and try to make Boston my kind of A race, and even then it's not even an A race. I'm running out of time now, so developing fitness for even Boston is kind of questionable, and it's more likely I'll try to train to just finish and complete the race. But the goal will still be to finish in around 3 hours, so hopefully the videos of the training will be relevant to you still. Today we're going to talk about how to make easy runs easy. Let's go. Step 1, build an aerobic base. So if you're planning on running a marathon and you are planning on a 12-week build or a 14 or 16 or 18-week build, be sure to carve out a minimum of 5 to 6 weeks of aerobic base building. 5 to 6 weeks would be the minimum. If you have been running off and on, or if you have been running for the last several years, then you'll have somewhat of an aerobic base. Remember, endurance capabilities are slow to gain and slow to lose. So if you've been consistently running in the last several years, then you can look towards regaining your aerobic base relatively quickly. If you haven't been really consistent, or you're running for the very first time, then I would suggest the more weeks of aerobic base building, the better. And from my experience, after taking time off, doing about 6 to 12 months of aerobic base building is really, really helpful. And it helps to stave off injuries, and it gives you the endurance so that you can not only finish long runs and the marathon race itself, but have the ability and the resilience to recover after hard workouts and continue running on a daily basis. If you're running for the first time, or if you are picking back up after some time off, then you want to start with aerobic base building at 40 minutes per run. Even if you are capable, rather than doing longer runs 3 or 4 times per week, it's better to do shorter 40-minute runs 6 to 7 times per week. The consistent and steady activity will not only help your aerobic endurance, but also develop resilience in your ligaments and tendons and skeletal structure. 40 minutes is the maximum return on investment for aerobic endurance building, and you will find all the physiological benefits of an increase in aerobic capacity through cellular changes in your body, in addition to the resilience that you will build through the strengthening of ligaments, tendons, and bones. During this aerobic base building, try to do a long run once per week, and start with doing a 100-minute long run. Each week, increase that long run by 10 minutes, and then try to hit 150 minutes by the end of your aerobic base building. What pace is the correct pace to do during aerobic base building? I found that during this period, it's best to run at a pace that you're comfortable with. So before you go looking up your VDOT calculated easy pace for whatever marathon goal that you have, keep the running during this phase very comfortable. And if you do happen to know what goal that you are going to be training for, I think you will find that this pace will be much slower than the VDOT calculated easy pace that will be recommended for you when you start training. After you've completed step 1 of aerobic base building, it's time to move on to the marathon training build. I'm going to explain the marathon training build within the terms of a 16-week training build. In the first 4 weeks of the training build, we want to try to average all of our medium long runs and long runs between the middle of VDOT calculated easy pace and the slow end of easy pace. So for example, if your VDOT calculated easy pace is between 8 minutes and 9 minutes per mile, then you want to average your long runs between 8:30 and 9 minutes per mile. A good way to do that is to start the first half of your long run at the slow end of easy pace range, for example, at 9 minutes per mile, and then complete the second half of the medium long or long run at a pace in the middle of VDOT calculated easy pace, which in this case would be around 8:30 per mile. Each week of these first 4 weeks, try to increase the proportion of these miles at 8:30 per mile versus 9 minutes per mile. Hopefully by the end of the first 4 weeks, you'll be able to run your medium long run and long runs at right in the middle of your VDOT calculated easy pace range. Then in the next 4 weeks, try to step up your easy pace running by running in between the middle of VDOT calculated easy pace range to the fast end of easy pace range. So in the example of having an easy pace range between 8 minutes and 9 minutes per mile, do all of your medium long runs and long runs between 8:30 per mile and 8 minutes per mile. And similarly, try to increase the average pace of all your medium, long, and long runs incrementally so that by the end of the next 4 weeks, you're averaging the entire run at the faster end of easy pace range. And in this example, 8 minutes per mile. In the third 4 weeks of a 16-week marathon training build, start incorporating more steady state miles. Here, you will try to increase the proportion of steady state paced miles versus the fast end of easy pace range. This is where you're going to apply a little bit more pressure so that by the end of the third 4 weeks, you'll be able to run entire medium long runs and long runs at an average of steady state pace. In the next 4 weeks, excluding taper week, maintain this average of hitting steady state pace during your medium long runs and your long runs. And you'll find that easy pace is going to start feeling really easy. During all these medium long runs and long runs, don't forget to add cruise intervals of marathon paced miles. They can be 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, or even 5 mile cruise intervals. No matter the portion, make sure that you also design a progression for these marathon paced miles. So make the cruises really easy at the very beginning. Limit the number of cruises that you do. Add plenty of rest intervals in between each cruise, and keep each cruise relatively short. In the beginning of a training build, I like to do as little as 5 miles of marathon pace with 1 whole mile of floats in between. And then I like to continue to progress all of those marathon pace miles to a continuous marathon pace run of at least 14 miles by 5 weeks before race day. When you're running for the first time, or if you've taken some time off, or if you haven't taken time off, but you're just in the beginning of a marathon build, easy pace does not feel easy. So running at a comfortable pace for a period of time and then steadily progressing to reintroduce your body to VDOT calculated easy pace and familiarize yourself and your brain to what it feels like to run at that pace, and then spending more time at slightly faster paces like steady state and marathon pace will eventually reset your brain, reset your perspective, and even though your heart rate is pretty similar, your brain will accept it and it'll feel a lot easier. So whether you're in aerobic base building phase, or you're in the progression to land in the bullseye of smack in the middle of VDOT easy pace, or you're tightening the screws a little bit and trying to inch towards steady state and marathon pace runs, I hope this talk helps you to find more comfort and ease while doing your medium long and long runs. And that's going to do it for this talk. Thanks for coming with us all the way to the end of this video. Don't forget to like this video and help out the algorithm. Smash that subscribe button because it helps out our channel a ton. Visit us on Instagram at AHRC. I'm not running right now, but you can still follow me on Strava by searching for Michael Kim at AHRC. Get on our leaderboard and join our Strava club by searching for AHRC. I have just enough time now to make it into the NPR for Evan's Choral Performance. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you have a great day and a meaningful run. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye now.